Happy morning, everybody. Long time back, there was this group of nomads, and they would travel from one place to the other. Who are nomads? Nomads are fundamentally people who do not have a fixed place to stay. They keep traveling. Wherever they get an opportunity, they reach there. They put down their huts. They live for a few days till there is a necessity for them to uproot themselves and travel again. So, long time back, there was this group of nomads who were stationed in a place for a little while, but then the authorities came and said, "You have to move, this is not your place, you can't stay here." They moved and they settled down next to a seashore. It was hardly 48 hours. Again, the authorities came and said, "I'm sorry, but you can't stay here, you'll have to move. And you have to move latest by tomorrow morning." The authorities left. The chief of the nomads looked up towards God and said, "God, why do you do this to us? We are not even settled properly, and once again you want us to move. This life has too much trouble and I don't want it." God appeared in front of the chief and said, "Collect as many seashells as possible, and tomorrow morning you will find yourself glad and sad." And God disappeared. Now, before the chief had a chance to interact, before the chief had a chance to exchange some dialogues, God disappeared. So, out of frustration, he looked at the entire tribe and said, "Well, God appeared in front of me. I don't know what he meant. He just said that collect as many seashells as possible, and tomorrow morning we shall find ourselves glad and sad." I don't understand his ways. I mean, he should have given me wealth. He should have given us a place to stay. He could have given us so many things. He could have taken away all our miseries. He could have given us health. He could have given wisdom. But look at him. He just said, "Collect shells." Anyway, since God had said, so let's comply. People collected a few shells, rolled it into their luggage, and they traveled the whole night in search of another place. Early in the morning, after hours of travel, they found a small patch of land and they thought, "Well, I think we can settle here." As they unraveled their luggage, to their joy, they found that the shells that they had collected had turned into diamonds. All of them became so glad, thrilled, jumping in joy, super excited. Now they have wealth. Now so much can happen. And almost immediately, they also became sad. If only we had collected more shells, we would have been richer. God was right. What God said was, collect as many seashells as possible, and tomorrow morning you will find yourself glad and sad. You know, sometimes when we go through life and we collect wisdom, we don't know where to apply that wisdom. We have no idea where to apply that wisdom. But collect those seashells anyway. There will be a time in your life when these shells will become diamonds. Priceless diamonds. When you're moving inside the classroom, go with a sense of destiny. Some child inside the classroom needs exactly what I have to give. They are waiting for this. And for everybody else, it will be the shell that they're collecting tonight. And there will be one morning when these shells will turn into diamonds. Go with this conviction inside the classroom and do the magic that you do. और बहुत मजा आएगा, बहुत मजा आएगा. If you interact with the teens, you will realize that many of them have no idea how to deal with the uncertainties of life. Chances are very high that today's session is exactly for you, not for the kids inside the classroom. So today's session, we'll do it in a very interactive way. So don't collect the seashells today thinking that you have to give it to somebody. Collect the seashells today believing that it is just for you. Tomorrow morning, think about it's relevant to children. Today, it will be great if you think about the relevance of this session only in your life. So, largely, I will take today's session thinking about you and not about the children. I want you to reflect today's session with you and not with children. Once today's session has settled down in your conscious and subconscious, once it has become a part of you, then you start thinking about the children. So it's going to be very impactful and very, very interesting. There are two kinds of people. One who is called intelligent and the other who is called smart. Listen to this very carefully. Intelligent means they have the capacity to understand a topic and they have the ability to analyze things very well. That is intelligent. I have the ability to comprehend. I have the ability to dissect. I have the ability to understand. That is intellect. What is that Marathi saying? Kalat par vadat nahi. Huh? Something like that, na? Now these are super classic intelligent people. And their self-defense mechanism also is मेरे को सब समझ गया बस समझ गया ना, that's more than enough. I know it, but don't ask me to do it. I have understood it, that is more than enough. Implementation is not my cup of tea. And I get my glory out of understanding things. मेरे को सब समझता है. And we dislike people, we hurt people who remind us that something should be done. How many of you are in that kind of a trap right now? I understand everything, but don't tell me what to do. It could be sleeping on time, it could be waking up on time, it could be meditating, it could be eating healthy food, it can be letting go of toxic people. It can be you should think big, you should work hard, you should have focus. सब मालूम है तुमको. और किसी ने 2 बार बोल दिया तो गुस्सा. ओ हो गुस्सा आता है. Yes, Rosie darling. Now people who love you, think about them. And they are telling you, darling, थोड़ा तबीयत का ध्यान रख. And that time, thanks to Swiggy and Zomato, I might order for sabudana vada and eat what I want. तूने मेरे को बोला ना मत खाओ, अब तो मैं डबल खाएगा. Have you ever done this? Somebody told you you're driving too fast and we increase the speed. Somebody told you mat kha and you ate a little more. Somebody told you come to sleep and you said abhi 2 घंटा एक और मूवी देखूंगा. मतलब our rebellion, and people who love us, what do they go through? They feel so lost. They don't know to give up on you because they can't. And if they love you, it hurts. So we push people away. Why? Because we are intelligent. At their end, there is another category of people called smart people. उतना ज्यादा शायद इंटेलिजेंट पीपल जितना कॉम्प्रिहेंशन नहीं है, लेकिन जो समझता है ना वो उन लोग इंप्लीमेंट करते हैं. गॉड गिवन एक्स्ट्रॉर्डिनरी टैलेंट नहीं है, but the absence of talent they make up through sheer hard work and commitment. That is why, as a trainer, when we look at people, sometimes we say, oh, here is a talent that is wasted. And here is a person who's very ordinary when it comes to God gifted talent, but they are going to create some extraordinary story in life. So, smart people are people who understand a resource, understand a piece of wisdom, understand an insight, understand love, understand support, and they do something about it. Intelligent people understand and full stop. The world needs smart people. You need smart people. Your loved ones want to see in you a smart person. This session will share about one aspect of life where you and me need to become very, very smart. Let's move ahead with the session. The first thing you will do in this session is share a story with children inside the classroom. Now I'm going to narrate two different stories to you. You decide which one you want, which one appeals to you, which one hits you hard. Story number one is a very small story, Chutkus. Zen story. You know, all Zen stories are very small. A warrior goes in front of a renowned Zen monk and asks the Zen monk, I've seen so much violence. Tell me, how do I avoid hell? And how do I ensure that I reach heaven? वॉरियर है ना, बहुत लोगों को मारा उसने. सो आई थिंक सडनली ही इज बिकमिंग कॉन्शियस कि और इतों को मारा है, कहीं नरक ना मिल जाए. So he goes to this master, Zen master, and says, how do I ensure that I avoid hell and how do I ensure that I reach heaven? Master asks, who are you? And he immediately says, I am the best of the best ninja warriors. Master laughs. With a face like a beggar, you are telling me that you are a warrior? You look like one beggar. Angry, the warrior takes out his sword and says, क्या बोला? मतलब exactly हिंदी में नहीं बोला होगा उसने. क्या बोला? And the master says, that is hell. Gently puts the sword back again. That is heaven. Hell and heaven are not geographical locations. You cannot take out your Google Maps and put hell and forward that location to people who trouble you. Neither can you put over there heaven and drive your own vehicle. These are not geographical locations. They stay inside your mind. The way you think, the way you analyze, the way you struggle, the way you exploit, the way you have ego, or the way you are peaceful, the way you are composed, the way you are balanced, that decides whether you experience hell or you experience heaven. So, hell and heaven are not geographical locations. Neither it is something that you're going to experience after death. आफ्टर डेथ तेरा शरीर तो यहां है, वहां पे तेरे को तेल के कढ़ाई में बज्जी बनाएंगे किसका? मतलब वो कॉन्सेप्ट ही फॉल्टी है, बिकॉज योर स्पिरिट इज गोइंग, हाउ विल दे बॉयल द स्पिरिट? सो हेल एंड हेवन both have one place over here. By choice, you experience either heaven or you experience hell. So there may be somebody who's riding a 20-year-old bicycle and singing a song and very happy. And there may be a person who's inside their brand new Mercedes Benz, sitting in luxury, but very miserable. Both hell and heaven are inside you. If you have negative emotions, you are already in hell. If you have positive emotions, you're already in heaven. If you have negative emotions, you're already in hell. There's no geographical place you need to go to. You're angry, you're scared, you're frustrated, you're jealous, you're carrying hatred, you feel hurt. Well, the destination is hell. You're peaceful, you have gratitude, you have a smile, you're forgiving. You're already in heaven. That's why they say to hate does not require strength. To forgive requires strength. And forgiveness shows you really care about your life. Hurt shows you don't care so much about your life. All of us go through these emotional tsunamis. And we call them tsunamis because the tsunami destroys everything in its path, does not create anything. So the negative emotions is what will destroy you even if you are very intelligent. So imagine the scientist who created COVID would have been very intelligent, right? The scientist who created the atom bomb and the hydrogen bombs, very intelligent, right? The terrorists who create these elaborate plans to destroy a place, very, very intelligent, right? Because intelligence के बिना करेगा कैसे ये सब? But are they in control of their emotions? They act out of hurt, they act out of anger, they act out of ego, and it leads to destructions all around. So we call these emotions as e-emotions. And these emotions go on to create destruction. We call it as the e-Tsunamis, the tsunami of negative emotions. How do you convert your potential into performance? When you are a master to your e-Tsunamis. In spite of huge potential, how do you live a below ordinary life when you are a victim to your e-Tsunamis? Hence, this session is called Mastering Your e-Tsunamis, emotional tsunamis. The second story. Hey, how many of you know about the Great Wall of China? The emperor made the Great Wall of China because they wanted ancient China and Chinese to live in peace. They thought nobody will be able to climb it because of its height, and they made it so long that people can't just walk or jog and say वहां end होगा ना उधर से अंदर घुस जाएंगे. The idea was protect ourselves. But do you know, during the first 100 years of its existence, the Chinese were invaded thrice. And every time, the hordes of enemy did not have to break the wall, did not have to climb the wall, did not have to blast the wall. You know why? Because each time they bribed the guards and came in through the doors. And the guards were bribed why? Greed. Greed is what? Negative emotion. The Chinese built the wall, but they forgot the character building of the wall guards. The Chinese built the walls, but they forgot to build the character of the guards. As a result of which, it was very easy to penetrate it. Think about it this way. How much effort do we put in leaving behind resources for our children? बच्चे को एक फ्लैट देना है, बच्चों को एक धंधा देने का है, एक थोड़ा सेट धंधा होना चाहिए, बच्चों को बहुत पढ़ाई देनी है so that they can stand on their feet. How much do we plan to leave behind things for our children? Now visualize that as the Great Wall of China that we want to leave behind. The wall will be there which will protect. But the effort that we put to build the wall, how much effort do we put to build the human character which is required for the children to excel? We are thrilled when the child comes first in class, which is celebrating their intelligence. But how much involved do we become in making our children smart? ये तेरे पास छोटा सा opportunity है ना? Now let's do hard work. For example, I really believe one of the ways to succeed as a parent is to make our children hardworking. Any child who's hardworking will bounce back very fast, will climb the ladder of opportunities very fast, will look forward to life with excitement. And any child who wants to avoid effort, even if you give them all the resources, they will suffer. So as a spouse, ensure that your life partner is hardworking by nature. One of the character building traits is hard work. Another character building trait is to appreciate what they have. In other words, feel gratitude for the good that exists in your life. When hard work and gratitude are together, arrogance will never come. When hard work is there but gratitude is not there, arrogance will come. When gratitude is there, hard work is not there, laziness and fear will also come. And that's not a great way to live life. Building of human character comes before building anything else. So some of us over here may not have enough resources to leave behind to our children, but you have given them character, hard work, gratitude. You have succeeded big time as a parent. Big time. This is what KMM is attempting to do through the sessions that you take inside the classroom. Build this character in children. So the work you do is not ordinary. It is super significant. Super significant. So sometimes the children may not respond the way you want. But believe that some of these children are collecting the shells. And one morning, when they need it the most, the shells will become diamonds. Character building is strengthening of our mind and intellect and making sense of right and wrong. Very clear and very strong. ये तो पोइट्री हो गया. Character building is strengthening our mind and intellect. It is making sense of right and wrong. Very clear and very strong. अरे आज तो मतलब मैं खुद का पप्पी लेता हूँ. And this character building needs one fantastic pillar to support it. And that fantastic pillar is emotional mastery. So here is a question to all of you. Take out your notebooks, take out your notepads if you haven't done that already. First, let's identify what is your biggest emotional tsunami. Which is that negative emotion that you are not able to master. Look at that friendly fellow. Well, what is your negative emotion? Fear? Overanalysis? Thinking of what can go wrong? Do you know there are 6 basic emotions? In case some of you are saying, "Pata nahi kaun sa emotion hai." 6 basic emotions in the world: joy, sadness, disgust. Yeah, that is disgust. Like when you see somebody with pan parag as they are talking to you and that pan parag drips down their cheek onto their spotless white shirt. What you might feel, that is disgust. So first is joy, then is sadness, then is disgust, then is fear. Then, of course, is anger. And the last is surprise. Surprise is an emotion. It's like, now, have you found that these negative emotions kind of hampers you from living a good life? They kind of take you off track from your goals. They kind of disturb your relationships. And I know you love yourself. You would like to live a great life. How to do that? Before we go into how to do that, let me give you certain truths about life. Every now and then, life will be unfair. So when life is unfair, you don't have to get angry. Life is unfair every now and then to everybody. And you're not the first person to whom life is unfair. Every now and then you will make mistakes. In spite of your best efforts, you will slip. So every now and then you will make mistakes. And when you make mistakes, if you have very high expectations out of yourself, you will be disgusted with yourself. Expect it. Expect it. So every now and then life will be unfair. Every now and then you will be disgusted with yourself. Every now and then people will be painfully disappointed with you. Become a master in dealing with these pains. And like we always say, do not waste any disaster of your life. Disasters are the best occasions to create yourself. In economics, they say, do not waste a disaster. Let's say India did not have foreign exchange and Manmohan Singh was made the finance minister. It was a disastrous situation. In 2 months, we'll have to tell the world, I'm sorry, but we won't pay you. Disaster. Manmohan Singh did not waste that disaster, and it opened up the entire Indian economy, turned things around. Do not waste a disaster. COVID. For life school, professionally, it was a disastrous phase because till then, all our training programs are physical. And people feel the energy of the office. We enjoy hugging each other. Pre-session, post-session, lot of talk happens. There is this bonding that is created. A fraternity was built. Everything was physical. And suddenly COVID happens. Now, how do I train? Disaster. For the first time in my life, professionally, we lost money. We burnt money. Now, we did not reduce even 1 rupee of anybody's salary. We did not delay payment by even 1 day because it's not their fault. So we lost about 50 lakh rupees. But that disaster taught us that this model has to be tweaked and something else has to be done. In this coming year, we might do about 2.5 crores. And during COVID, our turnover was 32 lakhs. We'll grow by about 10 times. Do not waste a disaster. How is a disaster wasted? By crying, by complaining, by becoming angry, by getting frustrated, by getting afraid. Those e-tsunamis will come and sweep you and destroy you. Every now and then in life, you will have pain. You will have pain. What mastering your e-tsunami says is, do not waste any pain. Make the burning points, the turning points of your life. What will you do? You will make your burning points the turning points of your life. And you'll say this statement with a lot of power inside the classroom. I will make my burning points the turning points of my life. I will not waste a disaster. Do you know every human being gets emotional? Successful people also get emotional. People who fail also get emotional. Great people get emotional. Ordinary people also get emotional. Everybody gets emotional. The difference between ordinary people and extraordinary people, the extraordinary people know how to master their emotions. They do not waste a disaster. Ordinary people not only waste the disaster, they also waste themselves. मैं उदास है, मैं ना बहुत हर्ट हूं, मुझे ना बहुत गुस्सा आया है, and they waste themselves. Water, when harnessed, can irrigate thousands and thousands of hectares of land. And the same water, when it is wild, it creates destruction. See what happens in floods? Destruction. Same water, when harnessed, can create so much progress and so much abundance. What is atom bomb? Atom bomb is nothing but nuclear power. When harnessed properly, it can light up an entire city. And when used as a bomb, it can destroy cities like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So it's time for us to decide not to waste a disaster and to master our e-tsunamis. How will we do that? I've already asked all of you, what is your atom bomb emotion like? What is your emotion which causes a tsunami inside you? And many of you have responded. You see, I'm sure 228 people have not responded. So you know what I mean? When you go inside the classroom and you want everybody to share, when you want sharing to happen, and some people don't respond at all, well, your class is the micro, just like this place. So today I'm going to ask you questions every now and then. And let us see if by the end of today's session I get 228 responses to one question. Arey, kuch to karo yaar. But I am not going to be sad. I am going to be excited as always. Let's say your worst emotion is anger. Let's say your worst emotion is anger. You might do bad things in anger. Things that you wouldn't do if you are happy. In anger, you might do that. So let's do a small exercise. Small exercise. Thoda masti aaj. Take a piece of paper. And you're going to do this inside the classroom. This is going to be fun. What we are doing is, we are not only making people intelligent, we will make people smarter. That's the challenge of this session. And that is why the interactions are required. That is why getting the children to put things down on paper is required. Draw a picture of how you look when you are angry. Draw a picture of how you look when you are angry. Chalo. Naren, I'm not good at drawing. I know. You don't look good also when you are angry. So dono match ho jayega. No problem. They are complementary. Just imagine you are very angry and how would you look? And you can use your creativity. You don't have to draw an exact face of yourself. This is not like create an outline of India map, 10 marks question. Representative. You can show that. वो ओनिडा का था ना एक, ओनिडा का एक डेविल था ना, डेविल ओनिडा का, with that पूंछ. Okay? You can show something like that. You can also draw something which you think people think about you when you are angry. It can be metaphorical picture also, not exactly your picture. Like you can just draw thorns. That when I'm angry, this is what I give to people. Pain. कुछ भी चलेगा. ठीक है, make the children inside the classroom draw the picture. This is going to be fun. Some will do a very sincere job. Some will do a decent job. And some will only do masti. Everything is okay. They're collecting the shells. What do you say when you are angry? Only when you are angry, these words come out of your mouth. Otherwise, it doesn't. What are the few things that you say only when you are angry? Murkha. Oi ba. Acha, you say this? Murkha. Murk. Ullu ki dum. Idiot. Go away. Don't talk to me again. मार खाए तू अरे बाप रे what is this baulat now imagine inside the classroom we'll be discussing about anger in a very funny environment. Now once you have created this environment, next time if they are angry and as they are saying what they have written, they will start smiling. Purely, sheerly through this exercise, you have helped some people control and master their emotions. Next time somebody is angry, they might say, Akkal! कोई बात नहीं, थोड़ी देर बाद बात करेंगे. Okay, time to move on. All sort of things can make people feel angry. All sort of things. Sometimes it can be that food was wasted, and sometimes it can be because enough food was not there. Sometimes it can be because nobody asked them और खाना चाहिए क्या, and sometimes people might get angry because nobody asked them और खाना चाहिए क्या. And sometimes it can be somebody pestering you ना थोड़ा और खा ले, एक और खा ले, भाई नहीं खाना है मेरे को, मेरा पेट है, छोड़ दो मेरे को. पेट को मराठी में क्या बोलते हैं? पोट. Why? Because it looks like a pot. So anything can make people angry. People who are angry, there need not be a logical reason. They are searching for things by which they can justify the anger that they have. Some people get mad when they have to follow certain rules. They get angry because they have to live up to certain expectations. I don't want to live to anybody's expectations. And of course, some people get angry when somebody else is mean to them. Here is the second thing I want all of you to do. Find out what are a few things, like what are the 3 things that makes you really angry? Just think and write down. Oi, my God, look at this picture. In frustration and anger, this fellow has broken his own chashma. 2, 3 things. Actually think deep. What are those 2, 3 things which normally makes you angry? Everything can be put in one sentence. Expect life to be unfair at times. Bill Gates, in his autobiography, writes, expect life to be unfair. While there are so many brilliant things that we have got without working for it, like a human life, life in India, beautiful country. Imagine if we were born during the 1900s and freedom struggle is going on and we are under the Britishers, and outside restaurants it is written dogs and Indians are not allowed inside. So life has been kind to us that we are born when we are born in this age of IT, when we can connect to people, WhatsApp video calls, Zoom calls, whenever we want. No distance is big enough. And there was a time when मेरे पिया गए रंगून वहां से आया है टेलीफोन तुम्हारी याद सताती है. मतलब 2 महीने में एक फोन कॉल आ गया तो बस हो जाता था. Imagine those times when we are living in the beautiful times where AI has not taken over the world yet. So there are so many things which is extraordinary in life and we have not put any efforts to make it happen. So if sometimes there are some things which is unfair in life, we should not fuss about it too much. Medical science has progressed so much. There was a time when if somebody has malaria, people will start making the pyre for that. मतलब वो लकड़ी लगाना चालू कर देते थे यार इसको मलेरिया हो गया मतलब अभी तो मरेगा ही. And we live in times when even if somebody has cancer, they can bounce back out of it. And you and me have not put efforts to do any one of these things. तुम्हारे लाइफ में ना बहुत सारे सुपर बोनसेस हैं, सुपर बोनसेस. तो थोड़ा बहुत अगर लाइफ में कभी कुछ अनफेयर हो जाता है ना, इसका इतना ज्यादा होहा नहीं करने का. So expect life to be unfair. And it is okay if life is unfair sometimes. Having said that, let's do the third exercise. Remember the ninja? Hell and heaven both here. Now, sometimes things will not go right in life. From now onwards, how will you express yourself? What else can be done when you have emotional tsunamis? Without hurting yourself and without hurting others. What else can be done when you have emotional tsunamis? Deep breathing, absolutely. It's exceptional. If you just think, you will find solutions. Okay, here are some ideas from me, okay, to sum up everything that you have been saying plus a few ones. Very, very fast. I will give you some exciting options by which you can master your emotional tsunamis. First, eat your favorite food. Exactly what I saw Swapnil right now. I love bourbon biscuit. If my mood is not right, everybody in office knows what to do. They bring in a small plate 4 bourbon biscuits. Next 7 days, my mood is great. बेटू सुन रही है ना? Bourbon biscuit. You know what is bourbon biscuit? Okay. और ये और कितने दिनों के खाए हुए. Then here's one thing, exciting thing, whether you believe it or not, jumping jacks. सिर्फ जंप करने का. This is my challenge to you. Any negative emotion you feel, just stand in a place and jump 10 times. And after those 10 jumps, see how you feel. Challenge. Of course, write about your negative emotion, like write about your anger. And you know, वो कौन सा मूवी था यार, संजय दत्त का, हाँ मुन्ना भाई एमबीबीएस. लाइक काउंट बैकवर्ड्स, काउंट टिल 10, 1 to 100 और 100, 99, 98 बैकवर्ड, वो भी चलेगा. गो फॉर अ वॉक, ये भी चलेगा. श्रुति का एकदम सही, गो फॉर अ वॉक. टॉक टू समवन, डोंट फाइट विथ समवन, टॉक विथ समवन. You know, there's something called a stress ball. वो येलो स्माइली बॉल आता है ना छोटा सा, वो जस्ट प्रेस दैट स्ट्रेस बॉल. किसी के गला दबाने का मन कर रहा है ना, वो स्ट्रेस बॉल को ले लेने हाथ में. Go outside and play. Don't play video games. Go outside and play. Table tennis, badminton, जो खेलना है खेल. Listen to music like so many of you said. Practice a hobby. Dance. And finally be with nature. You do these things and you'll find, like this, your negative emotions are coming in control. Now, inside the classroom, discuss all these options in a very funny way. And there will be children inside the classroom who will give you some of these ideas. So 10, 12, 15 जितने ऑप्शंस आते हैं ना लिख डालने का, उनको बोलने का कि लिख लो जो भी, एनीथिंग विच मेक सेंस टू यू, जस्ट राइट इट डाउन. Like somebody would have written, eat your favorite food. And then somebody else says, listening to music, and you say, correct, that also works with me. And if you like to write, then writing will also work for me. So in the classroom, everybody will discover a few ways by which they can master their negative emotions. Besides all this, there are some breathing techniques through which we can bring our negative emotions in control. We can master it. Like quite a few of you have written breathing deep. Now we aren't going into meditation per se, but inside the classroom, teach everybody at least 2 different kinds of breathing and maybe one physical activity that I might make all of you also do. One breathing. This is called chula breathing. Now, what is chula? Chula, visualize you have gone to a village, induction plate is not there, gas is not there, etc., etc. And the grandmother there says, I am willing to cook for you, but mere lungs abhi weak hai. Can you just blow some air in the among the coals so that the small spark which is there will spread to the other coals very fast, and therefore I will be able to cook some food for you. So chula breathing is nothing but visualize that you have to breathe it out and actually light up the chula. ठीक है? Now the key over here is when you are doing chula breathing, don't look at another human being and do. They might misunderstand your chula breathing. So chula breathing, fundamentally what does it do? It forces you to deep inhale, deep exhale, and in that you change the entire pattern. Okay, an aside to you which you need not discuss in the class unless you have a lot of time. When you do deep breathing, negative emotions cannot come to you. Negative emotions compulsorily means your breathing is shallow and fast. Negative breathing compulsorily means your breathing is shallow and fast. So when you're scared, when you're angry, breathing becomes fast. When you breathe deep, your emotions subside. You don't know where is the button to master your emotions, but you definitely know the button to deep breathing. And hence deep breathing works like magic in becoming master to emotions. So chula breathing. Got it? All of you, do it once and see. Second thing, what you do is nothing but keeping your body rock still. We call it as BRS, body rock still. So what you do over here is, for 1 minute, just make your body rock still, close your eyes and watch your breathing. You don't have to do anything to elongate your breathing, just observe your breathing by keeping your body rock still. Eyes closed or open. Eyes closed is always better because open eyes means distraction. So body rock still just for a minute. This also works like magic. Let's do that, all of you. Please close your eyes. Please close your eyes. Make your body rock still. And shift your entire attention to your breathing. Shift your entire attention to your breathing. Watch the gentle rise and fall of your chest as you breathe in and breathe out. Gentle, slight. You're not Madhuri Dixit, so I don't want you to do dhak dhak kar. Gentle, okay? 30 more seconds. Body rock still, don't move your body, watch your breathing. Last 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very, very gently, please open your eyes. Well done. Now, the third thing is very interesting, and it will make the whole class stand up on their feet, and you will do a physical activity with all of them. Okay? We are going to do something called the body roll, also called as the spinal roll. If you are very hungry, please don't listen to me saying cream roll. I'm not saying cream roll. Body roll, spinal roll. Okay? अचानक मतलब भूख लग गई यार रोल का सुना तो see what you'll have to do. What you're going to do is you're going to stand like this and you will roll your body. How somebody rolls a towel. If you have to roll a towel, what will you do? Not fold, roll. Okay? So what you're going to do is now you let the hand hang down and let the gravity pull your hand down. So you're not bending from your back. You're actually allowing this to roll down. Your chin will be to your chest. The chin will touch the chest. And the back will almost be like rolling down. So every vertebra of yours is gently rolling down. So you're not bending from your back. You're actually rolling from here. So you begin with this, touch, feel every vertebra opening up. You will go down as much as you can. आराम से, मतलब you don't have to stretch yourself. We are not doing yoga, so you don't have to touch your feet. मतलब खुद के प्रति इतनी श्रद्धा मत रखो कि खुद का पैर छू रहे हो, ठीक है ना। और ये मतलब आज मौका मिल गया, मेरा जीवन चरितार्थ हो गया, ऐसा करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं. So if you can, if the hands fingers touch the floor, fair enough. If it doesn't touch, not an issue. And then whenever you feel like, one vertebra at a time, you will gently get up. So come up, and then your chin leaves your chest. Okay? Let's say the entire roll happens in a count of 15 or 20, and take about 3 or 4 seconds for one count. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And with every count, visualize that one vertebra is getting rolled. And then the next vertebra is getting rolled. Next one vertebra is getting rolled. This is called the body roll. It's an extraordinary exercise for the flexibility of your spine. It's a brilliant exercise for you to come completely in the present. You know, any negative emotion has its roots either in the past or in the future. बहुत डरे हुए हो ना, fear is there about the future. Anger, frustration, guilt, jealousy, all of this is anchored onto the past. The moment you breathe deep, the moment you do chula breathing, the moment you do BRS, the moment you do spiral roll, each one of this is designed to bring you immediately, absolutely to the present. And spinal roll kind of stretches your spine so beautifully. It requires a little patience to do it because we are in a hurry to complete. But visualize it as if you are really enjoying the favorite food item that you have. You don't want to hurry it down your throat. You want to enjoy the taste. So do it to a count of 20. All the ACs in your team meeting, especially if you are meeting physically, see if you can do it together. And let one person drive the entire meeting and drive the entire exercise. You do spinal roll well, it will take about 2 minutes to do one spinal roll. Because you're doing it in 15 and each count is 4 seconds. So you go down 1 minute and then you come up 1 minute. 2 minutes should take one spinal roll should take 2 minutes. I'm telling you, take my word for it, any negative emotion that you're feeling will be completely dissipated through one single 2-minute spinal roll. Whether your e-Tsunami is about anger, or it is about fear, or it is about guilt, or it's about frustration, a 2-minute spinal roll and you're out. It looks very simple, and that's its greatness. Spinal roll. So we did 3 kind of activities. One is the chula breathing, one is body rock still, and one is spinal roll. Teach all these 3 to children inside your classroom. All this not only helps you to master your anger, but it will help you to master all of your negativity. all of your negative emotions. Acha, why do we need to master these negative emotions? Final 2 points for the session. Why do we need to master these negative emotions? There is an extremely powerful statement with which you will kind of complete the session. Extremely powerful statement. थोड़ा भारी है लेकिन सबको समझेगा. It is peak dynamism is always born out of peak staticity. Peak dynamism is always born out of peak staticity. What do I mean by it? When the mind has chaos, it means the mind is making you run in many directions. If you are thinking यहाँ जाऊं, वहां जाऊं, वहां जाऊं, तुम वहीं खड़े रहोगे, कहीं नहीं जा पाओगे. There is a lot of activity over here, but in life you are not moving ahead. Peak dynamism. When you want to live your life with peak dynamism, it is born out of peak staticity, absolute stillness. And that's why the picture that you saw in that slide is a 100-meter dash. The fastest race among humans is the 100-meter race. We cover a 100-meter distance in about 9 seconds. Fastest race is a 100-meter race. You make it into 400 meters, now it becomes 44 seconds. Now the beginning of this race, if you look at the Olympics, you look at the Asiad, you look at the World Athletic Championships, if you look at the beginning of the race, every athlete is absolutely still. And then as the gun goes off, peak dynamism happens. Take a bow and arrow. You pull the string behind to a place where, as you hold on, you know that the string is giving you so much power and it wants to get released. And your muscles over here have pulled the string back. So there is that situation, that place where you know there is an extraordinary balance between the capacity of the string and the capacity of your muscles. And in that place, there is peak staticity. You feel completely in power. And from there, when you release the arrow, it goes in peak dynamism. You do a little more and it will break. You do a little less and the arrow will fall down here only. But when you pull it to that place where there is peak staticity, absolutely, it gets peak dynamism. If you look at movies and you see shooting happening, except in the case of Rajnikant and Indian heroes, actually, when they shoot, they will hold with one hand, this hand which has the gun, so that can give it peak staticity. As I am running, if I am shooting, peak dynamism won't happen. What is peak dynamism? With minimum effort, maximum results. Itna effort diya or peak, you went to the peak dynamism. So for peak dynamism, we need peak staticity. And negative emotions destroy my staticity. So when I do these exercises and when I come to the present, when I master my emotional tsunamis, nothing in the world can disturb me or distract me. And I know life will be unfair because life in its own self has also given me abundance with zero effort from my side. So when life once in a way is unfair, I will cooperate. I will remain composed so that I can get the best out of everything else which is going good in my life. You are driving on the road and let's say the roads are bad. I understand your frustration. Somebody ahead of you is not driving properly. I can understand your frustration. People have parked in a very funny manner, very irresponsible way. I know these things will happen. Somebody commits that I am going to reach by this time and they take you for granted. Somebody was supposed to pay you money, they did not. Somebody was given a very simple job, but they forgot or they ignored it. Every now and then there will be things which will happen which is unfair, which includes people lying to you, people stabbing you behind your back, people bad mouthing you. You help them when they needed you. When you need a little help, they disappear. All of this will happen in life. Life will be sometimes unfair. But that unfairness cannot create emotional tsunamis inside us and makes things worse. Don't make it worse. End it if possible. And to end it, you need to be a master to your emotions. Make a choice. Do you want to be that person whom people call as intelligent but sad story? क्या इंटेलिजेंस है लेकिन you want people to look at you and make that sound. बहुत समझदार है लेकिन, or you want people to say smart है. Again, listen very carefully and see if the next 2 minutes comes out from your system inside the classroom. We don't want luxuries of life, really. What we want is respect. You and me actually do not need luxuries of life. What we need is respect. We go for things which are costly, thinking when I have that, people will look at me with respect. So I might want to buy the latest iPhone because people will look at me that I have the latest iPhone. And I hope unknowingly that they will respect me for that. I go on a costly holiday not because I actually want to enjoy that place, but so that I can tell others, where I went, and I think it will give me respect. I want to be seen only in a luxury car because I think it will make people respect me. I want to have all the money in the world, knowing fully well I'm not going to use that money because I think when I have money, people will respect me. These things don't give us respect. They do not give us respect. It is how you perform and how you help people perform is what gets you respect. It is how you perform where people look at you and say, Kamal hai yaar. And how you help people perform where people truly respect you. So conquer your e-tsunamis and live a smart life. A smart life where people helplessly respect you. I want you to live a life where respect flows towards you. So master your e-tsunamis and shift your focus from being intelligent to being respectworthy. To end the session, you will make an extraordinary announcement in the classroom. You will introduce Star of the Future awards inside the classroom. What is Star of the Future? Now, some of you know what Star of the Future is, and some of you may not know what Star of the Future is. Since I have 2 minutes, let me share it with you. The announcement is, if any child scores within 1% of their school's historical high, which means in the school, if the record of highest score is 97.7%, highest in the history of the school, any child who scores above 96.7%, within 1% of their school's historical high, will be taken for a ride in a brand new Mercedes Benz, or will be taken in a ride in a Mercedes Benz. Tell them there's going to be an award ceremony called Stars of the Future, where every child who scored within 1% of their school's historical high will be feted. The parents will be called for an extraordinary session. The children will get a ride and the parents get a session with me. So let me explain how the session happens. The children work hard, results come. And let's say across all the schools, 50 children have scored within 1% of their school's historical high. 50 children. Now, from the school, we will take the details of these children, and it's very exciting. From the school, we'll take the details of the children. We'll speak with the children and find out what is their parents' favorite food. So let's say Shripal is calling up a boy called Nitin. So Shripal will call Nitin and ask Nitin, तेरे मम्मी को सबसे ज़्यादा क्या अच्छा लगता है, पापा को सबसे ज़्यादा क्या अच्छा लगता है? And let's say somebody says गाजर का हलवा. Then it is Shripal's job to get the best gajar ka halwa in the world. He can get it made at home, he can buy it from a restaurant, and he will go to their house with gajar ka halwa, and he will feed the parents saying, आपके आशीर्वाद से, आपके मेहनत से आपके बच्चे इतने आगे आए हैं. बच्चों को तो दुनिया बोलेगी, लेकिन हमारे तरफ से आपको प्रणाम. And we will give them their favorite food. And Shripal will get the parents and the child in his car to the venue. So they are not told, come to the venue. They are collected from their homes. They are escorted to the venue. And there in the venue, there is beautiful environment. There is dance going on, celebrations going on. The moment the parents come in, they are garlanded. And the parents also get one medal. And in the medal, it is written, the world's best parent. And then there is a flag off. वो Formula 1 के रेस में होता है ना, there's a flag off. And one by one, 15, 20, 30 Mercedes Benz will be traveling. Now every child gets a window seat. So even if it is a 2 crore Mercedes Benz, which can be a 7-seater, there are 3 windows and 3 children in that car. And every car is chauffeur driven. And these children are then taken for a beautiful ride. Visualize about 25 Mercedes Benz back to back on the roads. What is the kind of environment which is created and the thrill which these children have? I mean, some of them might be able to They might even have a Benz at home. But it's their father's money. This is the right that they've got because they deserve it. It's out of their hard work. And some stories are scintillating. A few years ago, one woman, very, very poor, her child scored within 1% of the school's historical high. And normally about 65% people who qualify for this come from very poor families. And that lady had fatala chappal and she was crying. So C.V. Bhandari, the owner of Mercedes-Benz showroom, and me were standing together and we got concerned कि किसी ने बदतमीजी कर दी क्या क्योंकि बहुत गरीब थी. So we went to her and said, I'm so sorry, लेकिन किसी ने कुछ बोल दिया कि आपको कुछ तकलीफ हो गया क्या? And wiping her tears, she's saying, नहीं 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 ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं हुआ है. She says, हमारे पास इतना पैसा नहीं है कि हम खुद का साइकिल भी खरीद सके. और यहाँ आपने हमारे बच्चे को इतनी मोटी गाड़ी में बिठाया है. And she says, मैं आपसे वादा करती हूं मेरा बेटा बड़ा होके ऐसा गाड़ी खरीदेगा. And it has ignited something in that family. It's easy to ride around in your papa's Mercedes-Benz. It is easy to look at a bus which is passing by and say, "Aur ye kya gaadi hai?" But for these kids, when they have their first taste, it can change their life. So go inside the classroom and make this announcement. Star of the future. You're just in 10th. So the world has not seen what you're capable of, but you are a star of the future. Get this and you will go there. Some news channels will be there, recordings will be done, then it will be there in the newspapers, in the videos, some channels. But all that is secondary. When the children have gone for a ride, I address all the parents and tell them, don't bother about the education of your children. In case you want any money for the children's education, consider it done. From where will we bring the money? You don't have to bother. Merit basis में बच्चे का जहां एडमिशन होता है, जितनी भी आपके पास पैसे की कमी है, अब हम तुम्हारे साथ हैं. Till your graduation, we'll take care of your child's expense. It's one of the most fulfilling things that we do. And this normally happens on the Sunday before or after 15th of August. So next year, by June, all the results will be there by May, June. And then the children will go through their round of admissions and all. So very hurry-burry time. Mid of August, we will do Stars of the Future. We couldn't do it for a few years because COVID was there. But now that everything is settled back, and now you have enough Mercedes-Benz within the fraternity, let's do Stars of the Future as an announcement this year and celebrations next year. So it's a priceless session that you're giving to children. Priceless. At one end, you're teaching them that life is unfair and they will not get bogged down in life because life is unfair. You are giving them tools by which they will be masters to their emotions and not victims to their emotions. And then you're also giving them a dream of earning their own ride in a super luxury car. Extraordinarily powerful session. I'm also sure this session will help you to turn your life around. Let's not be victims to our emotions. Let's become a master to our emotions. As usual, I'm looking to read your thoughts about how this session will impact your life. And through you, standing inside the classroom as a role model, having experienced the benefit of this session, live this session like no other session that you have lived before. In the final announcement, the last session of KMM, this is the session number 6. 7th session will be live physically at the same Pucha Hall, Boat Club. All my darling friends, volunteers of KMM from out of town, if you would love to see the energy in the hall and if you would like to meet people who are a part of KMM, drive down, fly down. We would love to host you and have you over here with us in Pune. Wish you all the best. Have a great time. I thoroughly enjoyed taking today's session. Love you all.